Hello, everybody, and welcome to a big week of Friday night overtime. District games, region games, and just some really big games on tap for tonight. I am Alison Posey. That guy is Dom Tibbetts. And Dom, this week, a little bit weird. Not a lot of local team versus local team matchups, but a lot of really important games.
Absolutely, AP. And the one going down in Crawfordville tonight, pretty big. WAKULLA hosting an undefeated and 5th-ranked West Florida team.
That one also a district game. All the makings of a good one. It's our Friday night overtime game of the week. Let's kick off this action in the opening quarter. Getting started on the right foot. WAKULLA's Hayden Cleese dumps it to Xavier Blake, and he will take care of the rest, ripping off huge yardage and pushed out at the 1-yard line.
But don't worry, very next play, Blake finishes the job, and WAKULLA goes on top early, 7-0 after the touchdown.
However, when you're playing a team like the Jags, you can't afford to make mistakes.
Nope.
Tied up 7 in the second, War Eagles coughing it up. Fumble. Xavier Avery is there to recover it for West Florida, but thankfully, nothing comes out of that ensuing drive, and we stay knotted at 0.
And time winding down in the first half. Jags trying to take the lead, but Denzel Miller has other ideas. Check out this pick. Incredible diving off the back from Miller, gives WAKULLA the ball back, and in a double overtime upset, the War Eagles come out on top tonight, 20-14.
Go WAKULLA, love to see it.
RICKARDS on the road for a district game at MOSLEY. Raiders ranked 15-6A, MOSLEY 4th. Dolphins get the ball first, and they're making their way down the field. Randy Pittman takes the snap 1 yard out, pushes his way in for the score, 7-0 MOSLEY. But it doesn't take long for the Raiders to strike back. Michael Townsend to Greg Turner, shoves off a Dolphin, booking it down the sideline, outrunning Pittman. He is fast, folks, and dodging 2 more Dolphins for the touchdown. 65 yards for the Raiders. It's tied up at 7 apiece. One play is all Horton needed, however. He's going to send an absolute bomb to E.J. Redis, who snags it, dives into the end zone. MOSLEY goes up 21-7 over RICKARDS, and they'll close it out 28-13. The final, MOSLEY wins the district title.
Another 6A2 contest, Lincoln hosting CHOCTAW tonight at Gene Cox. Indians on offense. Jesse Winslet rolling out of trouble, connects with Cole Tabb deep downfield, and he is finally going to be brought down. But that leads to this a few plays later. Tabb, the direct snap, in for 6 points. Extra point is good. It's 7-0 Choctaw early. Ensuing kickoff, Raylan Wilson. I feel like we've seen this before. Fielding it deep in Lincoln territory. All over again. He's on his horse, taken down about the Choctaw 35-yard line. And that would lead to a field goal from Creed Carter. Lincoln, they would go on to get the big win tonight, 31-21 over Choctaw.
Giles High has had some pretty big wins this year. They've also been right on the cusp of some other really big wins. The Timberwolves hosting Buchholz tonight in a 7A2 battle. Now, it would be the big time to get a big win. Visiting Bobcats ranking 6th in Class 7A. First quarter, Bobcats defense looking good. Travis Jones tries to get around but loses yards on the drive. Bobcats are going to take over. Creed Whittemore, he's going to cut this next play here, throws it quickly to Jackery Kelly, goes towards the sidelines. That's enough for a first down. Then on the very next drive, Jordan Moore is going to get this ball, runs it right up the gut and in for a touchdown. Bobcats go up 14-0. Extra point attempt was good. Buchholz 35-10 winners over Childs tonight.
Leon on the road at OCALA Forest in another 7A2 battle. Second quarter still scoreless in this one. Forest with the ball. Steve Curry, not Steph Curry, connects with Isaiah Utang.
He's his cousin, though.
All the way down to the 2-yard line. Next play, Curry with the quarterback sneak up the middle.
Push him the pile.
7-0 Forest. Leon punting now with the ball. Curtis Evans back to receive it for the Wildcats. He takes it to the outside and returns it to the 35-yard line. Few plays later, it's guess who? Curry once again up the middle and scores from 35 yards out. It's 14-0 Forest, and they would go on to win by a final of 26-16.
Dropping it on down to Class 1A, 15th ranked Lafayette hosting number 8 CHIEFLAND. This one hosting a Region 3 contest. First quarter, CHIEFLAND punting. Hornets defense comes through with a huge muff punt, and that'll set them up in prime field position for an eventual QB sneak from Mario Thomas, and Lafayette jumps out to an early lead, but CHIEFLAND would have a field day from there. The scoop and score off the fumble. That's just back-breaking luck, AP. CHIEFLAND winners tonight in Mayo, 42-7.
Let's head to Georgia, shall we? In the standings in
Beach State.
Single A Region 2. They are tied. Brooks County at home tonight against Charlton County and looking for a big win. We'll start this one off in the third quarter. Trojans ahead 21-0. Charlton County trying to get on the board, and they're going to. Jalen King, who will run it in for the first touchdown of the half. End of the third quarter now. Trojans leading 28-7, and Brooks County, you know what they like to do. Bring that hammer.
Yes,
Jamal
sir.
Sanders will throw it long to Tremaine Demps. The score is now 34-7. Ooh, a little bit of Blair Witch Project there. In the fourth quarter, Sanders again with the long pass to Demps. This one, check this. A one-handed grab.
Woo!
Hello. That will set them up for another
Play
touchdown.
of the week nominee.
Absolutely. Brooks County, they beat Charlton County with ease, 42-7.
God, I got to see if I got to start doing that. In Single A Region 1, Mitchell County at home against Seminole County. Indians strike first with their defense on the field. Nick Call is going to pick this pass off and take it all the way back for a pick six. Extra point, no good. Seminole County leads 6-0. Eagles answer on their very next drive. Tony Burks takes a handoff on the read option, races up the sideline, 36 yards to the house. Mitchell County with the extra point good, takes a 7-6 lead. Indians come right back. Quarterback Zah Martin rolls right, finds Jamal Smith in the end zone.
Oh,
2-point try
nice.
would be good, and Seminole County led 14-7 at that point. But Mitchell County, they rally back 29-14. They're your winners. Hey, cheerleaders, you know what to do.
You're watching Friday Night Overtime on ABC 27. Go
I love it. Welcome back to Friday Night Overtime. Our band of the week, the WAKULLA War Eagle Marching Band. Getting it too.
Ah, they're awesome. Loved listening to them tonight. But let's get back to some football. Big region games. Plenty going on in South Georgia this Friday night.
Absolutely. In 7A, Lowndes opening up region play at TIFT County. And 7A Region 1, Vikings, they're going to be on offense first tonight. Jakari Brown pitches it to Chase Belcher, another who. Belcher scoots down the Blue Devils sideline for a 20-yard run. A few plays later, Jakari Fleming takes the handoff and gets slammed by the Blue Devils' Bubba Ellis for a big stop on third down. Later, 3rd and 15, Brown scans the field. He makes Ellis miss, and another Blue Devils defender.
Get out of here.
And he sets his feet and throws it in the end zone. Belcher mosses. Where's Randy Moss?
Oh,
Blue
my
Devil for the
gosh.
touchdown. Lowndes. They get the big region win, 26-7.
Unreal. The Brookwood Warriors start region play next week, closing out their non-region schedule tonight at home. Southwest Georgia Academy. Second quarter, Raj Waldrop drops back, finds Destin Moore. Quick touchdown in the end zone. Warriors 14-0. Extra point good. Next drive, Warriors. Raj again this time finds Dustin Moore. He'll connect successfully. And they're up 21-0. Extra point is good. Final score in this one, Brookwood 49, Southwest Georgia Academy 27.
Now, arguably the biggest non-region or district game tonight going down at Florida High. The Seminoles hosting Trinity Christian. These two no longer in the same classification, but they do have just a little bit of history. The Seminoles were knocked out of the postseason last year by Trinity. Second quarter action, Florida High up a touchdown. Conquerors settling the score. Colin Hurley handing it off to Darnell Rogers. He gets it into the end zone. We are tied at 7-all, but the Noles answer right back on the other end. Trey Donaldson back for his first game this season, making it count. Rolling out, finds Taylor Gilly wide open. It's 13-7 Seminoles. Trinity responds with a field goal to get back within 3. Seth Bialek right through the uprights there. And after a good return on the ensuing kickoff, here we go. The Seminoles 3 points of their own.
Anything you can do, I can do it better.
Getting it done. Absolutely. 16-10 the score at the half. And the Noles, 2 claps for you guys. 31-17, the big win for Florida High.
Let's keep this ball rolling. Hamilton County taking a road trip this week at Trenton. First quarter, we're going to start this one up. Tigers already up 8-7, looking for more. Tyler Perry, the Tyler Perry, 16-7. Trenton just like that. Trojans fight back. Second quarter, Dante Cooper looks downfield, has a big gain for Hamilton County. He's going to get this ball inside the red zone, call it inside the 10-yard line. That play sets up another Trojan touchdown. Jaquan Straughter takes it in, and the Trojans cut the deficit to 16-14. They take the lead, but Trenton would take it back. Hamilton County falls on the road tonight, 50-34.
St. John Paul II closing out their home slate tonight, hosting Santa Fe. Panthers already up 7-0. Check this. Tremaine Hughes, the dime to Leon Washington, 80 yards. Thank you very much. St. JP2 leads 14-0. Santa Fe trying to get something moving on offense here. Landon Rogers handing it off to Keon Carter, and this guy can move.
That is
Good
a bowling
pickup,
ball.
but nothing comes
My
of it.
man.
This one settled all in the second half. 34-21. Panthers get the win in their final home game.
Gadsden County on the road at Niceville tonight. First quarter, we start. Gadsden County's Cameron Upshaw eludes the rush. He's going to look downfield, finds Brad Greta Grant for a 32-yard completion down the sideline. That drive would have returned to nothing. Now, Niceville forces a Jaguars punt. They're going to block it, but Jan Jackson picks it up and runs it 50 to the 50-yard line, picks up the first down the hard way, 20-0 at halftime, and after a massive Jaguars comeback, it would fall short in overtime. 34-27 Niceville, your final.
A little Flashback Friday action. Thursday night at Gene Cox Stadium, GODBY hosting Pensacola in a district game, also looking for their first win of the year. Up 12 in the second quarter, fourth down, Cougars going for it. Good thing, too, freshman Christian Sims, the keeper, picks up the first down and then some. They would score soon after the handoff to Chase Gillespie here, the Vanderbilt commit. He is in easy for 6. The Cougars, they would cruise last night, 29-0, their first win of the season. A lot of good football, guys, all on the website, WTXL.tv.